The next speaker is Deputy Hannigan. Your 4 minutes.
Thank you, Alaska Corla. As the ministers noted in their speeches last night, the SME sector is the backbone of our economy here in Ireland, and we in government recognise this, and since we came into office we've been working hard to create the right environment for companies to grow. Within a year of taking our part in government, we brought in the Action Plan for Jobs, which contained 270 different action points that each department were going to undertake to help businesses to set up and grow. And it's a pity that the party that lead us into this economic mess that we're in is now too busy focusing on what might happen instead of focusing on the positives that are actually happening out there in the economy at the moment. Because right now, employment in export-oriented companies has actually grown by 10,000 over the past year and a half. Exports from Irish companies is up. It's reached 15 billion in 2011. It's the highest level that they've ever reached. And new supports have been set up for the SME sector. For instance, a temporary partial credit guarantee scheme was launched last week, and that's going to benefit companies that are having difficulty accessing credit from banks. They'll see an additional 150 million euros being made available to SMEs every year, and that's going to lead to probably in the order of 1,000 new jobs as a result of that. The Microfinance Loan Fund has been open for applications since the start of the month. 40 million euros will be made available over the next 5 years to micro businesses, and this funding will give people a chance to see if their idea that they have might potentially work, and it'll give them time to develop it into a sustainable business. It's hoped that this scheme itself will create another 7,000 jobs within the next 5 years. But those are only just some of the changes that have been made. Minister Burton has made it easier for employers to employ someone who's long-term unemployed. She's changed the PRSI rules so that employers can get an exemption from PRSI for this employee for up to 18 months. That's what's happened already, and there are other things being looked at. In the papers on Sunday, there were reports of a debt deal for SMEs. This would allow an SME to restructure their debt if they had one. It's been called Examinership Light. It would allow SMEs to become viable again and to continue to trade, and of course, in the process, save jobs. It was a commitment of ours within the programme for government, and we're working on making it happen. I've contacted Minister Bruton's office about this, and his department are discussing this with the Company Law Review Group. It's just one more example of how this government is committed to making sure that the SME sector works. At a personal level, I'm very much aware of the difficulties faced by SMEs. I set up an SME 17 years ago, and I recognise very much the difficulties that SMEs are faced with and that small businesses are having to deal with in the current economic crisis. But I also recognise the talent out there and the fantastic people that are running their own companies, that are working for small companies. And I've no doubt that it is these small businesses that will be at the vanguard of getting us out of the current economic recession.
Thank you very much, Deputy. The next